Hey, it's BT. I am going to review the Aragon GP, the Spanish GP, and let's get right down to it. Don't mind the stuff in the background. This is my nasty ass dirty room. I'm not here a lot, so I don't really clean that much because I'm not really here a lot. And that's what a man says when he's a dirty, filthy dude. Anyway, let's talk about the Aragon GP. First of all, let's go with Moto 3. Let me tell you something. Brad Binder, and I'm only going to talk about Moto 3 for a little bit, and I'm gone because Brad Binder, he could have easily played it like a boxer does. You know, when it's all over and the boxer kind of gets a jab in, he's got the fight won. He just dances around, tries to look pretty, and then when it's all over, he's like, I could have knocked him out, but not Brad Binder. He went for it, dude. He went for it. He got dirty. He went for it. He got second. I thought he was going to win it. Props to him. Props to South Africa. I mean, to have a whole country root for you, which I hope they are. And what he did, like any other motorcycle racer, they uprooted and he went and followed his dream. And to be honest, man, I didn't know Brad Binder had it. I really didn't. I remember a couple years ago, Brad Binder, and then he did what he's supposed to do. He just got better and better, and he just props to Brad Binder, man. I mean that. I'm glad he won it. It's interesting to see what happens to him in Moto 2 next year. And props to KTM. KTM is making a dent in Jeep. Whatever they put their hand on, they're making a dent in. And God bless those guys. I think after Around the World with the Ian McGregor, I think they kind of put them in a bad light. And ever since then, they've been like hungry. So props to KTM and props to Brad Binder, man. Congratulations to him and his family. I think it's great. Let's move on. Moto 2. Moto 2. Sam Lowe's actually did what Marc Marquez was supposed to do in MotoGP, if that makes any sense. Remember, Marquez, I'm putting the horse ahead of the cart, but with Marquez, he was supposed to dominate, and when he's supposed to be a race, yada, yada, yada. Well, Sam Lowe's did that in Moto 2. Sam Lowe's, he basically said, hey, I ain't got shit to lose. It's like asking that pretty girl out at the bar, and you go, hey, man, you know what, I don't have a job. I ain't got no money. I stay with my mama. I might as well ask this girl out. What's the worst can happen? Say no. I'm already a loser anyway. Not that Sam Lowe's is a loser, but he went for it, dude, and he got it. I mean, he's only 40 points out of the lead for the championship. It's getting good. Moto 2 is getting good. People sleep on Moto 2, which actually I kind of did because I was really, 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 really tired, and I woke up, I was like, oh, the race is over, so I had to rewatch it. But anyway, it's not the point. The point is, Sam Lowe's has nothing to lose, so these next 3 flyaway races, he's going to go in there, man, like a bat out of hell, which is going to be great. I mean, I really think it's awesome. And what I thought was funny, how they said this is the first weekend he hasn't crashed once. I thought it was kind of funny, but great race. And I think everybody was rooting for Alex Marquez. We all know what Marquez is up against. He got his brother. It's like being Jan Brady. You know what I mean? Like, everybody wants to talk about Marsha. And then there's a little Cindy with the pigtails. And Jan's like, hey, I'm good looking too. Look at these supple breasts. I mean, I'm good looking. And I think that's what Alex Marquez is to Marc Marquez. He's still a champion, but it's like, you know, and he's in his big brother's shadow. But I thought Alex Marquez did a great job. Good for that kid, man. You can't help but root for him. And actually, good move against Morbidelli. Morbidelli's a beast. Nobody talks about Morbidelli. Morbidelli is a straight up beast. And he got third, but he almost had second. But Marquez showed some cojones. He showed some El Grande cojones. And he did a great job getting second place. I think it's great. I love how Rins, remember I talked about how Rins never gets dirty? Rins held off Baldassari and Zarco. I don't know what's going on with Zarco. I don't know what's going on with tight shoes. Like, tight shoes, what happened? I don't know. I just you know, since these last 2 races, I haven't been myself. Oh, my feet. So I don't know what's going to happen. These next 3 flyaway races are going to be great. The month of October is going to be great GP. 2 classes still to be decided. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait for Motegi. Motegi's going to be great, man. It really is. Like I said, props to Alex Marquez, props to Morbidelli, and Sam Lowe's did a Marc Marquez. He dominated. It wasn't even a race. Let's move on to GP. GP was like this. We all thought Marquez was going to dominate, so it was kind of like who's going to get second and third. And you always notice, and here's the thing about it. Rossi, man, people don't know how great a year Rossi's having. Granted, he had those crashes, but take away those crashes, Rossi is always, and he's just so smart. And Rossi, thing about it is, his age does play a great factor. You know what's funny about Rossi is that he looks back on tires like you look back on an ex-girlfriend. Like Michelin. Yeah, I remember the first time I went on Michelin's. Like, yeah, back in 2006. Yeah, Michelin. She was good to me. And that's what Rossi's like. He remembers when the tires were there the first time. So he's on a comeback. Nothing's really new with Rossi. He's on a comeback with Michelin, which I think is great. So he knows the tires, and he's consistent. It's so great. But the thing about Aragon GP, as far as GP goes, actually the first 3 or 4 turns on the first lap in GP was like, that was some great racing. Marquez, Vinales, and Lorenzo, those first 4 turns, man, it's not good for my heart, but it was great racing. Those guys did it. They did the damn thing. What I thought was great was Marquez put a move on Lorenzo, which is just good hard racing. I never think Marquez is dirty. It's just the way he races, he's an asshole. It's like, he's just an asshole. You know, some people, from afar, especially in the United States, you go, that guy's racist. Not really. Maybe he's just an asshole. You know? And that's what Marquez when he races. It's nothing personal. It's just an asshole. He runs into everybody. And I liked how when he ran across to Lorenzo and he had lifted up his hand, hey, sorry. Like, it's like, hey, I didn't really mean that. Which I thought was kind of great, you know, kind of cool. So it's kind of weird how their relationship is getting better and his and Rossi's is, I can't say it's worse, but, you know, like in the beginning, it was Lorenzo who didn't like Marquez because Marquez ran him over like a bull, remember? I think it was Jerez when he ran him over. So he and Marquez didn't get along, and now they kind of like get along better now, which I think is kind of cool. But anyway, I thought it was great. Marquez kind of said, hey, sorry. And I thought the maturity of Marquez is incredible. The way he knew when he almost went off, he saved it, and he was like, you know what? I don't need this shit. You know what? I don't need this. I'm just going to chill out, cool out here. I got the best bike. I'm the best rider. I mean, what am I doing? I'm going to sit back, chill out here, get my bearings about me, maybe text a couple girls, see what they're doing. And that's what I'm going to do. And he was behind Dovey. And no offense to Dovey, no offense, but you just kind of knew he was going to pass Dovey. You knew he was going to pass Dovey. You just knew it. And he just waited his time. And that's the great thing about the mature Marquez. He waited his time. He's still learning. He's still learning. He's a 4-time world champion. 4-time world champion. About to be 5. And he's only 23, and he's still learning. Oh, my God. He's the 6th all-time winner in GP and the GP guide. 6th all-time already. What he's doing, we're watching history. People, sometimes they always go, we always want to recall stuff like, oh, it wasn't as good back in the day. It was so much better. No, what we're watching is incredible. I mean, feast your eyes on Marquez because, hey, I think it was a great street philosopher, Tony Montana, who said, take a load of bad guy, baby, because you may not see this kind of bad guy ever again. And that's what he is, man. Marquez, love him or hate him, he makes racing fun. Great job by the kid, man. I mean that. It was he took his time. And the only bad thing about the only thing about the Aragon GP is like you expected the battles and they didn't turn out kind of like you. I'm like, oh, here we go. I thought he and Rossi were going to stage one where they, bang handlebars, like, tight, maybe push him wide. But it never really surfaced like that with any of the battles. I thought Marquez and Vinales were going to battle, and Vinales went wide. And I thought Rossi and Marquez, and that never really materialized. Marquez, clean pass, didn't even touch him. So, it was a good GP. Don't get me wrong, it was a good GP, but it was like, especially the master class, it was like, and Marquez rode a great race. It was like going to a great restaurant, and everybody tells you how great it is. Oh, this restaurant's awesome. And you get there, and you walk in, and maybe you smell like, when they clean tables with dirty water, you kind of, you go, I smell dirty water. Or like there's like a table that hadn't been cleared off for like, I don't know, a couple minutes. You go, You get the food, and it's good. You go, it's good. And you look at the bill going, well, no, $17.95 good. But that's quite the Aragon GP was, at least for me. Thought it was good. GP is GP, and we love it. That's why I didn't get any sleep. That's why I look like shit. GP was GP. Loved it. I didn't think the battles didn't turn out like I thought they were going to. I thought it was a great race. I love watching Lorenzo Rossi 2, part 2 in the race. I love how the second part of the race happens and Rossi went wide. It just goes to show, hey, even the best screw up sometimes. So it was great to watch. The 3 flyaway races, I cannot wait. I said what I say in Aragon. I said, like Bernie Mac did, what'd I tell you? What'd I tell you? What'd I tell you about Marquez in Aragon? What'd I tell you? And that's what he did. That sounded like a black Rodney Dangerfield instead of Bernie Mac, didn't it? And he goes, hey, I get no respect. That's what happened. I get no more respect. But anyway, what happened was I thought it was, I said Marquez heard those whispers, the people going, he hasn't won. He hasn't won in a long time. He hadn't won in over a month, man. He hasn't. He hadn't won in Spain for how long? Chino Marquez hadn't won in a long time. And when you're a winner like Marquez, you hear that, and you try to play it off at the press conference like, "Oh no, it's no big deal, no big deal." But you know, was eating the enemy. I gotta do well. And usually, sometimes with all that pressure, people fold, like his tire almost did on lap 3, but he didn't. So he took that pressure, and even he said how Rossi was clawing back little by little by little. And you watch Rossi's face in that post race press conference, and he's like, he looked a little bit defeated, like yeah, I really think if Rossi could have won in Aragon, then Marquez would have been jittery, kind of like a boxer after he gets knocked out. It's like, hey man, so yeah, I'll get the championship, and that's what he would have been, but he didn't. He won. That's the maturity of Marquez. Great. I think he wraps it up in Phillip Island. I think he wins in Phillip Island. That's what my prediction is. Marquez will win in Phillip Island, and the championship will be over. So that I think the race was great. Rider of the race, I'm gonna have to give it to. You know what? Brad Binder's world champion. He didn't put a foot wrong, but for some reason I don't know why. I want to give it to Sam Lowe's. I thought Sam Lowe's rode a great race. Sam Lowe's definitely a Moto 2. Moto 3, even though Jorge Navarro won the race, I got to give it to Brad Binder. Brad Binder's a champion. He went out like a champion. That's what champions do. He tried to win the race instead of going the easy way. And Moto GP, rider of the race, I gotta give it to Marquez, man. Like the maturity, like I said, he almost been it, but he didn't. He stayed in it. So gotta give it to Marquez, rider of the race. Next race will be Motegi. Hope you stay tuned for that. This goes on a little bit longer than I wanted to, but I just want to tell you guys, I said Marquez was going to win because he heard those whispers and he delivered. Masterclass by Mr. Marquez. Thanks for watching. I will talk to you guys in Motegi. Until then, I'm gonna get some sleep. Peace.